Thank you, Chaplain Busby. Guests, please be seated.
Uniform personnel, hurry! Rest!
We want to thank all of you for being here today. It's a departure from where we typically have this ceremony, and I think you'll all agree with me that it's a very poignant setting with an iconic landmark of our Queen Mary behind us, our shoreline, our shorefront, and it's a pleasure to have all of you here today. I would like to recognize the dignitaries and the distinguished guests in the audience that have joined us, including our elected officials, department heads, and members of our community. We appreciate your support, and we are very pleased that you could join us here today. Thank you.
We'd also like to take a moment to recognize and honor the family members of all fallen comrades. I see the Larson family and the Birdsall family. Blessings. Though they may not be here in attendance, our thoughts and prayers go out to them and their loved ones who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Now it's my distinct honor to introduce the Mayor of the City of Long Beach, Dr. Robert Garcia.
Well, good morning, everyone, and it's a very nice day today in the city of Long Beach, and it's always a very special day when we remember all the brave men and women that have sacrificed so much for our city as well as for our country. I wanted just take a quick second and also thank every time we have one of these events, there are some incredible volunteers that are working to set this up and welcoming us, and I just want to thank them for their work, always being here to recognize our police and fire departments. Let me also just say that we in Long Beach, and something that we're all very proud of, and I know that our city attorney, Charles Parkin, our city auditor, Laura Dowd, and two of our council members that are here, Councilmember Daryl Supernaw and Councilmember Roberto Urenga, all agree that in Long Beach, we support our police and firefighters 100%. They have our complete support. We believe that they are our community heroes, because they are, and that extension of support goes also to the families. The families of our firefighters and our police officers are part of our city family. They experience all the ups and downs, as would any firefighter or police officer, and they also experience all the great joys that comes to us as a community from saving lives, supporting community, and building neighborhoods and partnerships across the city. And so to the families that are here as well and supporters, you are part of our city family. Let me also just say that the tragedy, of course, of being sometimes a police and firefighter is that there is incredible danger, and oftentimes we lose people that we love and that are closest to us. And so today we not only are we celebrating the great work that happens, but most importantly we're remembering some incredible men and women that we have lost here locally, but also across the country as well. Finally, I'll just add that as a reminder, these are difficult times for our police and firefighter departments. There is a heightened level of both scrutiny and oftentimes criticism of these men and women and the work that they do. And it's more important than ever today and beyond that we continue to support their incredible work, because they do put their lives on the line every single day, as we are remembering today and every year that we celebrate this memorial. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor Garcia. Representing the police department, I am honored to introduce to you Police Chief Robert Luna.
Good morning, and I really want to sincerely thank you all for joining us here today to acknowledge our heroes and the ultimate sacrifice that was made by 29 of our police officers and 13 of our firefighters. This memorial ceremony is an enduring symbol of that sacrifice and the sacrifice made by all of the families who served our city. Thank you to the families who are here today. Birdsall and Larson families, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today. Our officers see this profession as a sacred commitment to protect the lives and constitutional rights of others. No other job, other than those who serve so bravely in our nation's armed forces, are called upon to make such a sacrifice for someone they didn't even know. We continually train and employ best practices to accomplish our mission without compromising officer safety. Most of the time, thankfully, we succeed. Occasionally, however, the outcome is tragic. Our commitment to those killed in the line of duty and their families is that we will never, ever forget you. We will always remember those who had the courage and commitment to sacrifice their life to protect others. It is for that reason that we come together each May to reflect on what we, as a community, too often take for granted. Law enforcement fatalities nationwide rose to their highest level in 5 years, with 135 officers killed in the line of duty in 2016. Year to date, 44 police officers have lost their lives, which is up 29% from the previous year. Each of those numbers represents a family and a community that has been torn apart. May the families of those who made the ultimate sacrifice take comfort in knowing that their loss was in furtherance of the most noble of causes, in the protection and service of others. Our officers are men and women who are fathers, mothers, sons and daughters wearing this uniform of service, who didn't pick this job because they wanted to be or get rich. They chose a calling with a purpose and a conviction to do well. They want to make a difference serving others, to keep the peace, protect people's constitutional rights, privileges and liberties, protecting those who cannot protect themselves. This is the greatest gift that a human being can give to another. I would like to end with this quote from a Japanese warrior. Loyalty and devotion lead to bravery. Bravery leads to the spirit of self-sacrifice. The spirit of self-sacrifice creates trust in the power of love. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
I would now like to recognize our fallen Long Beach police officers. Would everyone please rise?
Uniform personnel, attend. Hut.
Officer Thomas C. Borden, end of watch, March 17th, 1912. Officer J.R. Wilkinson, end of watch, January 17th, 1923. Officer Orlando E. Bridgman, end of watch, March 21st, 1923. Patrolman Robert H. Halstead, end of watch, March 6th, 1926. Patrolman George A. Walls, end of watch, November 18, 1928. Patrolman Ralph A. Morgan, end of watch, July 13th, 1931. Patrolman William J. McLean, end of watch, December 12th, 1934. Patrolman Dilbert P. Buckman, end of watch, February 13th, 1940. Sergeant Ingebrigt Larson, end of watch, February 25th, 1942. Sylvia M. Sievers, end of watch, November 19th, 1943. Patrolman Harold W. Irwin, end of watch March 20th, 1945. Patrolman Cecil W. Singer, end of watch November 18th, 1945. Patrolman Marlon L. Evans, end of watch July 17, 1949. Officer Jesse M. Ream, end of watch February 28, 1950. Officer Robert H. Morgan, end of watch November 2nd, 1950. Patrolman William H. Wagner, end of watch December 18, 1954. Officer Frederick W. Walsh, end of watch January 20, 1957. Officer Vernon J. Owings, end of watch June 24, 1960. Officer Richard R. Lefebvre, end of watch August 15, 1965. Patrolman Robert G. Smith, end of watch December 12, 1965. Patrolman William L. Isham, end of watch August 26, 1967. Patrolman Donald V. Knott, end of watch August 26, 1967. Officer Robert R. Birdsall, end of watch September 16, 1975. Officer Frank N. Lewis, end of watch December 13, 1975. Officer Gary O. Elkins, end of watch January 1st, 1976. Officer Lloyd M. Lund, end of watch October 30th, 1981. Officer Carl D. Simons, end of watch October 13, 1996. Officer Darrell W. Black, end of watch April 30, 2000. Corporal Edward R. Davenport, end of watch February 4th, 2003. Guests, please be seated.
Uniform personnel, hurry! Press!
Representing the fire department, I'm honored to introduce Fire Chief Michael DeRee.
Good morning, everyone. Tragically, in the 120-year history of the Long Beach Fire Department, there have been 13 firefighters that have been killed in the line of duty in service to our city. These firefighters left behind wives, children, and their loved ones. They never had a chance to see their children grow and experience the joys of special family milestones such as graduations, weddings, and grandchildren. Their commitment to duty was put before all else. In that sense of duty, they were taken from us too early and left a void that could never be filled. Every year, we take a moment to remember those fallen servants. We remember their sacrifice, we remember their commitment, and we remember, most importantly, their lives. Each name listed in the program has a story that ended tragically. However, let us not dwell on that tragedy, but remember the life they lived and the contributions they made to our city, thus making it a safer place. As a fire chief, I am humbled by these individuals and their service that went well above self. The men and women of the Long Beach Fire Department and the Long Beach Police Department will never forget and will always honor your memory. Thank you.
The men and women of today's fire service are confronted with a more dangerous work environment than ever before. We are focused to continually change our strategies and tactics to accomplish our tasks. Our methods may change, but our goals remain the same. as they have throughout our proud 120-year history of the Long Beach Fire Department, which is to save lives, protect property, sometimes at a terrible cost. This is what we do, this is our chosen profession, and this is our tradition of the firefighter. The fire service of today is ever-changing, but is steeped in traditions 200 years old. One such tradition is the sound of a bell. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the bell that signaled the beginning of the day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell, which summoned these brave souls to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow citizen. And when the fire was out and the alarm had come to an end, it was the bell that signaled all completion of that call. When a firefighter had died in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it was the mournful tone of the bell that solemnly announced the comrade's passing. We utilize these traditions as symbols which reflect honor and respect on those who have given so much and who have served so well. To symbolize the devotion that these brave souls had for their duty, a special signal of 3 rings, 3 times each, represents the end of our comrades' duties and that they will be returning to quarters. And so, to those who have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow man, their tasks completed, and their duties well done, to our comrades, their last alarm, they are going home. Would everyone please rise?
Uniform personnel. 10. Hut.
Joseph E. Shrewsbury, 1916, returned to quarters. H. Stanley Ellis, 1924, returned to quarters. E. L. Howard, 1925, returned to quarters. Forrest Reynolds, 1928, returned to quarters. Percy Falker, 1933, returned to quarters. A.B. Steffens, 1933, returned to quarters. George M. Jules, 1938, returned to quarters. Mark H. Mims, 1951, returned to quarters. Frank G. Wood, 1953, returned to quarters. Kent Holliday, 1964, returned to quarters. Eddie Rickley, 1969, returned to quarters. Gary L. Ambrum, 1972, returned to quarters. Theodore F. Klobacher, 1974, returned to quarters. It is with great respect, pride, and honor that we honor our 13 firefighters who have paid the ultimate sacrifice with the last alarm ceremony, signifying that they have returned to quarters. I would like to share with you the firefighter's prayer. When I am called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me the strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Let me embrace a little child before it is too late, or save an older person from the horror of their fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling to give the best in me, to guard my friend and neighbor and protect their property. And if according to your will, while on duty, I must answer death's call, bless with your protecting hand my family, one and all.
Uniform personnel. Hurry. Rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can take your seats again. Thank you. If you'll beg my indulgence, I'm going to repeat a couple of numbers that you heard from Chief Luna, but I think it stands repeating. In 2016, law enforcement fatalities nationwide rose to their highest level in 5 years, with 135 peace officers killed in the line of duty. This is a 10% increase in line of duty deaths from 2015. And over the last 10 years, a total of 1,512 law enforcement officers died in the line of duty, an average of 1 death every 63 hours. Last year, California had the second highest rate in the nation for line of duty deaths. Equally sobering is that of the 64 firearms-related fatalities in 2016, 21 officers were shot and killed without warning in ambush-style shootings, which amounts to a 163% increase in ambush killings of police officers when compared to 2015. And while it may be easier for some to reconcile these facts and these numbers as merely that, stats and numbers, the inarguable truth is that these were loved and treasured human beings who had dedicated themselves before God to their noble and honorable profession, serving the public by protecting property, keeping peace, safeguarding lives, and in so doing, losing their own. Tragically, the Long Beach Police Department has suffered loss. We know the lingering pain of grief. Since our founding 129 years ago, 29 of our officers have perished while wearing this uniform, and in many cases the very style of badge and shoulder patch we wear today. We gather today to pay homage to the service of our fallen, to honor their memories, and as a declaration that we will never forget the extraordinary sacrifice of these peacemakers. We take this opportunity to stand as one body and as one family, and to demonstrate to the surviving spouses, to the children who no longer have their parent, mothers and fathers who have lost their child, and to the families of our fallen brethren, that we support and we love you. You are the unsung heroes of our profession, and we pay tribute to your sacrifices as well. Salute by gunfire is an ancient ceremony, and while the tradition is storied, law enforcement has historically used a 3-volley salute, along with the playing of taps, to honor, pay respect to, and to bid farewell to its fallen. In a moment, you will hear a 3-volley salute and the playing of taps, which will be followed by the folding of the United States flag as a bagpiper plays Amazing Grace. Now please be prepared for the loud blast of the 3-volley gunfire salute. It is very loud, and feel free to cover your ears if you wish.
Uniform personnel, attend, hunt.
On behalf of the Long Beach Police and Fire Departments, we thank you for attending this memorial service. We hope that this occasion reminds us all of the sacrifice paid by our fallen heroes in service to our great city. As part of the city's vision to reestablish a connection between the citizens in the community and the Civic Center, the Police and Fire Memorial was decommissioned last year. Plans are underway to establish a new Police and Fire Memorial site, which will be placed in a prominent location in the new Civic Center Plaza. Thank you for attending. Please stop by and look at the various police and fire vehicles on your way out. This service is concluded. Thank you.
Uniform personnel, dismissed.